fall in love with a bad man. Maybe it's a disease that causes girls to be obsessed with super criminals. Get excitement and satisfaction from this. Some even marry serious criminals. For example, the overseas examples of Lao Rongji and Fei Xing, Zhang Muying and Zhou Kahua are even more outrageous. American serial killer Manson imprisoned. On average, I receive 4 letters a day. Most of them are written by women. At the age of 79. There is still a 26-year-old girl who is desperate to marry him. This type of behavior is medically known as Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. Is a mental illness. Named after the United States. Male and female robbers. Bonnie and Clyde. Hello everyone. I mean the black bear of characters and events. Early 1930s. Great Depression. The crime rate increased in those years. Bandits are rampant. Public enemy. There is more than just the King of Chicago in this era. Mafia bosses like Al Capone. Dillinger 2. Buck Mom. Babyface. Nielsen-like gangs and lone wolves. Among these ruthless people, Bonnie and Clyde get the most attention. After all, beauty. Handsome male and female robbers. Tags such as Yuan Yangshuang thief are a guarantee of newspaper sales. These two people liked to commit crimes in cars with 8-cylinder engines and large displacements. It was difficult for American police cars to catch up at that time. Speaking of which, I have never driven a car with a displacement of 2.5 or more. Don't know what it feels like. Speaking of cars. Old cars sitting idle. Don't let it go. Because cars drop in price quickly. Not tens of thousands a year. If it were me, I would put Gwazi on the second-hand car and sell it. Like my previous Volkswagen Magotan that I had driven for 2 years. Unexpectedly, it sold for more than 130,000 yuan. Gwazi is a national buyer auction model. After the car was put on the platform, more than 20 buyers bid much higher than the 1 or 2 offline stores. If you also have an old car sitting idle, just click on the comment section and take a look. Find melon seeds and come to your home for free valuation. How did the young couple Bonnie and Clyde end up on the road of no return? Bonnie was born in Central Texas in 1910. I have had sex with my father since I was a child. Introversion. Sensitive and dreamy. Such girls are easily fooled by mental guys. When I was 16. Bonnie is attracted to the gangster Thornton. Dropped out of school and married him. This marriage lasted less than 3 years. Because Thornton frequently stayed out at night and committed crimes, he was imprisoned in name only. Early 1929. Once Bonnie moved to Dallas, where her mother lived, she made a living as a waitress. It can also be seen from his diary that he was lonely. Longing to get rid of the life of a pool of stagnant water. October of the same year. Wall Street stock market crash. Triggering a capitalist world economic crisis. The United States bore the brunt of the heavy blow. Bankruptcy. People's livelihood is in decline. Unemployment soared to 25%. What followed was a deterioration in security. Crime rate surges. In this context, January 1930. Bonnie lost his job due to the Great Depression. Meeting ex-con Clyde at a friend's house. The two fell in love almost at first sight. Clyde is 1 year older than Bonnie. He is also a Texan who grew up in the gang-ridden slums of Dallas. I went astray when I was a teenager. He was arrested before meeting Bonnie. Twice a standard bad man. Bonnie doesn't care. On the contrary, I feel excited. The two quickly fell in love. Not a few weeks. Clyde was exposed because of the previous car theft incident. 3. Attack. Bonnie, full of love. Try to get him a pistol. Thanks to him, Clyde successfully escaped from prison. But he was arrested again not long after. Sentenced to 14 years in prison in Eastham, Texas. This time in jail, little fresh meat Clyde suffered a lot. In addition to working hard all day and being beaten by the prison guards. He also often lets Yuba go through the back door. His heart began to twist. January 1932. Clyde amputated 2 of his toes. Just to escape prison labor. A week later. His mother successfully applied for parole for him. February 2nd. A resentful Clyde is released from prison. He swore that he would rather die than go into the Great Depression again. It was hard for normal people to find a job at that time. Not to mention someone like Clyde. And he has no intention of taking the right path. Good feet. So I gathered a few buddies. plus Bonnie robbery. Burglary at rural gas stations and grocery stores. Clyde's original goal was to get enough money and weapons, and then take revenge on the Texas prison system. But as it dries, the flavor changes. April. When the gang robbed a hardware store, Bonnie was caught letting loose. Due to insufficient evidence. Haven't been charged yet. Only been imprisoned for a few months. During this period, Clyde commits a series of serious crimes. Killed a grocery store owner in Texas and a deputy sheriff from next door in Oklahoma. This means that Clyde, who has vowed never to return to prison, will spend the rest of his life on the run. Maybe one day it will be over. Bonnie faces a choice. Either leave Clyde, start life again, or die with him on the run. It is estimated that the vast majority of women will choose the former. But 22-year-old Bonnie chose the latter. Over the next 2 years, Clyde drives a big displacement car, traveling around Texas with Bonnie, Oklahoma, Missouri, Lewis, Anna, and robberies in 5 New Mexico states. U.S. police do not have the power to enforce laws across state lines. The FBI didn't have that much authority back then. Take advantage of this rule loophole. The two of them have been running back and forth across the borders of the 5 continents. It's causing a lot of headaches for the police. During the hunt, the police found many photos of the two of them and poems written by Bonnie. A good-looking couple, the robber girl can also write poetry. Something so attractive. Of course the media won't miss it. Newspaper reports. Bonnie and Clyde in the spotlight. Some tabloids are eye-catching, capitalizing on Americans' dissatisfaction with the authorities during the Great Depression. Packaging this pair of male and female thieves into so-called romance. Rogues make many people ignore their crimes. At least 9 police officers and 4 civilians were killed by Bonnie and Clyde. Although there is evidence that Bonnie was lifeless from beginning to end. But if you choose this path, you have to pay a price. May 23, 1934. According to information, Texas and Louisiana police teamed up to set up an ambush for the couple on a border trail. 6 police officers blocked the couple. 6 guns, 130 rounds. Bullets pouring out. Bonnie and Clyde were beaten into a sieve. Because of the overwhelming coverage in newspapers, more than 20,000 people came to attend the funeral, and the bullet-riddled luxury V8 car Clyde drove became a popular attraction. Since then, he has been exhibiting everywhere for more than 30 years. They charge $1 a time. I really don't know what these foreigners think. 80s. A resort in Las Vegas bought the car for $250,000 and displayed it in the lobby. It's still there. That's all for today. Friends who like it, please pay attention. See you next time.